Hi, I'm Matt, and in this video tutorial on the Onion Amiga, we are going to be hooking up an LCD screen and using the LCD I2C library via Python on the Onion Amiga. Now, before we get started, you will be needing an LCD screen, but a special one or a special attachment board. So I'm going to pop this up on the webcam for you so you can have a look. So this is a typical LCD screen. So where's my pencil? Like so, and you'll see that we've got the massive array of pins. Let's call them 1 million pins. Okay, so if you've ever used an Arduino or something like that, you can connect up your Arduino or your Onion Amiga using pins like this, but it uses so many pins. And the simple way around that is to put a piggyback board on the back, which allows you just to use 2 pins, SDA and SDL. Needed to check that off the top of my head. So you get this just down to 2 pins, and of course the other 2 pins are 5 volts and ground. So that's what we're going to be doing, and because SDA and SDL allows you to use I2C communications, this keeps the pin count just down to 2 pins, means you can use the other pins for lots and lots of other devices on your Onion Amiga. So you will need a piggyback board, and it will need to be soldered to your LCD screen. Also note, this video tutorial is only using a 16:2, but it will work with a 16:4, and I am looking around on my desktop is that 16:4 is twice the size, so you can see that on there. This library will also work with a 16:4 LCD as well. But in this tutorial we're just using the 16:2. Now, like I said, before we get started, a couple of things we need to get into place. The first one is to make sure that we have our Onion Amiga booted up. We can tell that it's booted up. Now, I do have a USB hub attached to this and a USB drive, which I've covered in previous tutorials, and I've still got the web camera connected. We will also need the expansion dock because we're going to be expanding our Onion Amiga. We'll need this LCD screen, and we'll also need 4 pins or 4 leads as well. Now, I will be using the tutorial which is available on the Onion Amiga website or the Onion website, and that's what I've got on my screen right now. So the link to this is actually underneath this video tutorial on YouTube for you, and it is simple as copy and paste. If you can manage copy and paste, you can power an LCD screen via your Onion Amiga. So with that said, let's go and do this. Now, let's just make sure we are connected to our Onion Amiga via a web browser, and I do have a terminal window open. Let's just clear that down. So you'll need to get connected, and if you're not connected to your Onion Amiga via SSH or a serial port, then go back and look at one of the previous video tutorials and I'll take you through those steps nice and slowly. So let's go and do this. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to pop this tutorial on the right hand side and use that as a reference and get our terminal window back open. Now, as we normally start these video tutorials, we always start by running opkg update. Like I said, you've heard me mention at least 3 or 4 times now. It's caught me out many a time by trying to install stuff and I've not run an update command and things didn't go to plan. So always make sure you start by running opkg space update. Next, we are going to install git http, Python Lite, and also PyOnion I2C. Now, it is worth noting is that if you're more used to using Python 3 or a different version, or you want the full-blown version, you can change these commands to suit your own needs. And of course, go and check the wiki for the other options there. Now, with that said, let's go and get Python Lite installed and also PyOnion I2C. So to do that, we run the command opkg install git http, Python-Lite, and PyOnion I2C. So let's press return. Now this will take a few seconds to download. Now while that's actually loading, we'll leave that running in the background. Let's go and have a look at this tutorial a little bit further. Is because we are going to need to connect our LCD display to our Onion Amiga. So we need to take note of the pin specifically. Now you're going to need to just check what labels you've got on your piggyback board on the back. Okay, on mine I have ground, VCC, SDA, and SDL. That pin arrangement may be different for you, so do double check that. So let me just pop that right up on the web camera for you. Okay, that arrangement may be different for you, so change your pins and your wiring it accordingly. So to connect this up is really straightforward. So I have ground, so I need to pop that into ground. So I'm going to pop that in the bottom left. We also have VCC, which I'm actually going to leave to last, and that's my white wire. And then of course, according to the wiki, we also need to connect SCL to pin 20. So SCL is actually the purple one, and that needs to go to pin 20, which I believe is that one there. So you'll have to excuse me, I'm just going to lean over on my desk to make sure I get it in the right one. So purple to SCL, and then SDA, which is the grey one on my leads, that needs to go into pin 21, like so. And then I've got white, which is VCC. Now in this case, VCC means 5 volts. You may get mixed results. I'm going to just pop that up in the webcam for you so you can see the pin layout. Now I'm going to pop that one in last, and that means 5 volts. So that's going to be the second pin across from the top as you look at your board horizontally. Now, while I've just been talking there, if we jump back to our console, excellent, we can see GitHub and any dependencies have been installed. Let's nip back to our tutorial. So now we need to get into our root folder. So we're going to type in cd/root. And now we're going to go and clone the repository from GitHub. So we need to run git clone and then the repository. Oh, in this case, it's actually from Bitbucket. And let's go and run that. That will take a few moments to come down. In fact, while that's just coming down, I am just going to plug in the VCC on our LCD screen. And excellent, we can see at least our LCD screen is being turned on. In fact, I believe I got it the wrong way around, so let's turn it around that way. And excellent, that's been run. Now, we do need to go and change our folders. Okay, so we need to type in CD, and then I believe it's fire, and then I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to press tab. So we're going to go into fire onion underscore I2C underscore LCD. And now we need to go and run the command Python space lcd.py. So let's run that, and if everything works, it should run. And obviously, I've gone into the wrong folder, and I've just realized my mistake. We actually need to be in the source folder. And again, I'll leave this in here because I'm in no way perfect. So let's go and CD down into the source folder. Okay, CD source. Let's go and run that command again. By the way, I'm just pressing the up key on my keyboard to go back for previous commands. So let's go and run that now. Da-da-dum. Excellent, there we go. Did we see the screen blinking on? Okay, in fact, let me just move this up onto the webcam for you so you can see this working. Okay, so I hope that's, in fact, let me just move this lot a little bit closer. Okay, so in the background, I'm just going to run the command. We should see the screen blinking. To kick in there, it's blinking, and then we've got the message on there. Okay, so let's look to see how we can expand that and maybe change the message. So coming back to the desktop, let's go and edit that lcd.py file. So nano lcd.py, let's open that up. Now we can see there's some messages on there, some copyright at the top. We're importing the LCD driver and then time as star. We've got the address of the LCD. Oh look, there's our message. So number one, David Stein, thank you very much for creating this library for us. Let's go and change that with howdy as a message in there. And obviously you're going to spend more time looking at the functions which are available to you in the rest of the code. I'm just going to go in and make a very quick edit just to show you proof of concept. You will see that we can change the display string, lines 1. Oh, the one bit which you want to look out for is that number 1 on the end and that number 2 on the end. Maybe if you had a 16:4 display, okay, so row 1 is number 1, row 2, which is we've got a 16:2. To do a third and the fourth row on a 16:4 screen is that you would then use 3 and 4 on the end. And then we've got two other commands on there, lcd.backlight off and also lcd.backlight on. We've been and made some changes, so we'll press Ctrl X, Y, and enter. And let's run that again. So let me move this back up onto the screen so you can see this up on the webcam, so you can see this too. Let's, oh, let's exit out of that one. Right, let's try that again. And then just press return. Okay, we remember we'll see it blink. And then we should see the message which has been updated. Again, you'll see that before I will do. And we come back and then excellent. So that's how you can connect an LCD screen using PHP and a readily available library to display messages from your Onion Amiga. So from myself, Matt, I sincerely hope that you found this video tutorial helpful. I'll see you in the next one. And from myself, Matt, cheerios.